Hello, I'm Mike, and I'd like to talk to you about 9271 and 9274. Two very similar products, but obviously not identical. But they're similar in respect that they're both heavyweight products. In fact, they're physically quite heavy. It's a heavy coat weight of adhesive on a white PVC film. The white PVC film is useful for a number of purposes, particularly in things like graphics, some sign applications, where you want a solid background, you want to mask whatever's underneath, or you just want that sort of clean white background. So it's used in that type of application, but probably most of the applications that we supply these tapes for nowadays don't need that white film. It could as well be a clear film. So don't think that these products are only used where you need a white film. They're used very widely because of the other features, and the other main feature is the adhesive. But just one final point on the film. PVC films are not very temperature resistant, so the one limitation of these products is we don't recommend them above about 70 or 80 degrees C. Above that, the PVC softens quite a lot and it's liable to shrink. So that's realistically the sort of maximum temperature range. But for low temperature, medium temperature applications, these are great products. The adhesive is a modified acrylic. In fact, it's our highest performance modified acrylic. It's an adhesive that we put on a lot of other products. And it's a solvent-based cross-linked modified acrylic. So by modified acrylic, it's had tackifying resins added to the acrylic polymer. That gives it much better tack, also much better adhesion to some materials, particularly low surface energy materials. And the effect of the resin on the adhesive is to soften the acrylic somewhat, so it wets out better. So particularly on rougher surfaces, it's got more ability to flow and to wet those surfaces. It'll perform better on those, and also to wet out at lower temperatures. So for low temperature and rough materials, great products. And the adhesive I mentioned is cross-linked, so although it's very tacky, it's still got very high cohesive strength. So they're genuinely products for robust applications. They'll withstand quite long-term shear stresses or other stresses, as well as giving that initial adhesion and that great sort of adhesion to the more difficult materials. So we use them on things like wood, MDF, PVC for banners and things, all sorts of fabrics and coated fabrics, materials with a grain, anything where it's a bit more difficult to stick to than you get with a thinner tape. Now, to talk about the differences between the two products, and all of the differences really relate to one difference in construction. And although they're both coated on PVC, they're coated on different types of PVC. So the 9271 is coated on a fairly thick plasticized or soft PVC. Of the two, this product is whiter, it's denser, more opaque. So if you do want a white background, a clean white product, this is the better one. 9274, it's got a slight yellowish tinge and it's not quite so opaque. So there's one of the benefits of this. And it's a plasticized PVC. It's quite a soft film, so although it's thick, it's soft. It's a bit more stretchy and flexible. And some people like the product because of those features. In fact, originally one of the applications for this was safety backing of mirrors, particularly automotive mirrors. Not so much used for that nowadays, but you can see that sort of reinforcing ability is a particular feature of this. And it's the other effect of the plasticized PVC film is that a little bit of that plasticizer does go into the adhesive, which softens the adhesive. So it's, of the two, although it's actually the lower coat weight, it's a tackier product. So this is the product that really has exceptionally high tack, and some of our customers use it for that purpose alone. I have to say there's a lot of crossover between these two products, and for a lot of applications it's quite subtle factors or customer preference that dictates which one they'd use. For us, we recommend this really where you want the sort of the white background. 9274 is the product that's coated on a hard or rigid PVC, and it's a much thinner film. Now, you can see from a slight difference in diameters, this is actually a marginally thinner product. But because the film is that much thinner, this is actually the heavier coat weight product. So this is the one we tend to recommend more for applications where you are bonding to rough materials. It's just got that bit more adhesive, which helps it to wet out on those sort of more difficult surfaces. And in fact, of the two, it's probably the one that we recommend the most. And unless you particularly want the white film, it's the one that we'd probably suggest that most people start with. So, very high coat weight, rigid PVC film, a really good product for all these sort of quite difficult applications, and quite demanding conditions, because apart from the very high temperature, it does practically everything. One of the noteworthy features, both of these products are still coated at their original coat weight, and they're both over 1/4 millimetre thick. Now, most of the competitive products, and it's one of the classic styles of PVC tape, of double-sided tape. So there are a lot of look-alike products in the market. This is one typical one, but if you measure the thickness of this, this is only about 0.2 mil rather than 0.26 or 0.27. So a lot of the competitive products, apart from in some cases having poorer quality adhesives, are much thinner and don't have the ability to bond to the rougher surfaces. And in fact, even the brand leader for this type of product has had its coat weight reduced over the years and is now substantially thinner than these products. So that's a summary of 9271, 9274. I hope that was useful. If you want any further information on the products, if you want prices, or if you want to arrange samples, if you click on the link below this video, you can go to our contact page, or our phone number's at the top of the page, or you can use our live chat facility. So we hope to hear from you.